According to the bookmakers, these are the top 32 candidates to win the Championship Golden Boot this season. Let's jump in. With odds of 40 to 1, it's Leeds United's WILFRED NONTO. Now, it certainly felt like the Italian winger was underutilised at times in the Premier League last season, and maybe a dip down to the Championship could be the best thing for his career. He's 19 years old, got explosive pace, and definitely could be a game changer at this level. It does remain to be seen whether or not he will be a Leeds player come the end of the transfer market, as there has been Premier League interest. He's definitely a shout. Scott Hogan is your typical sort of Championship goal scorer who does regularly get into double figures, albeit not quite at that level to maybe blow the competition out of the water. In his previous 2 consecutive seasons for Birmingham, he has hit 10 goals in each of those campaigns. But does he have what it takes to go to that next level? I'm not so sure. Oscar Estupinian scored 13 league goals in his first season with Hull last season. The thing with the Colombian forward is he is a very streaky type of striker where he'll have 5 matches where he'll score 7 goals and then he'll go the next 6 or 7 games without scoring. The way Hull are gearing up right now, he might be an interesting outsider for this one. Also priced at 40 to 1, it's his new Hull City strike partner Liam DELAP, who joins Hull on loan from Manchester City for the season. Now, DELAP had his struggles in the Championship last time around, both with Stoke and Preston. He only scored 4 goals throughout those 2 loan spells. You can definitely tell there is a player somewhere in there, but neither Stoke or Preston managed to get it out of him last season. Will Rossini be able to do just that this time? KARLAN was massively frustrating to watch last season, but let's not forget this is a player who only 2 seasons ago did hit 18 Championship goals. He's now got his move away from the Hawthorns and will be joining Cardiff on a season-long loan, and maybe that change of scenery will be best for Grant right now. Last season he was nowhere near it in terms of his own individual standards, but he has shown the capability in the past to get up and around 20 goals. Ipswich Town's Freddie LADAPO is also priced at 40 to 1 to be the Championship Golden Boot winner. Last season in League One he scored 17 goals, and the last time he was at Championship level he hit 11 goals over the season for Rotherham. Bearing in mind he will be playing for an Ipswich side now who is expected to create quite a bit from open play, he's definitely an outsider choice. Had this video been recorded 5 years ago, Dwight GAYLE would be at the opposite end of this table, but as things stand he's coming in with odds of 40 to 1 to be the Championship Golden Boot winner. There's no denying that the last season was quite frustrating for the 33-year-old. He only scored 3 goals for Stoke, but this is a player who does boast one of the best Championship goals to game ratios of all time. He's had 2 previous campaigns where he has hit over 20 goals at this level, albeit that was 4 years ago now. Can Ashley Barnes be the Timu Pukki replacement for Norwich City this year? He's priced at 40 to 1 to be the Golden Boot winner. I do like the look of this Barnes signing for Norwich, although I'm not quite sure he'll be their main source of goals. For a free-flowing Burnley side last season, Barnes only chipped in with 6 goals, but his impact went far beyond just goal scoring. In that season under Vincent Kompany, he actually proved himself to be a really good link-up man who could drop deep and make things happen and open up the space for the wide players, and I have a feeling he'll be utilised in a similar sort of role for Norwich. RHYS HEALEY is one of Watford's latest recruits for the season, and having scored 40 goals in 77 matches for French side Toulouse, there's no reason why he can't stick it at this level. It is worth noting that he is coming off the back of a serious ACL injury, but if he does manage to get himself back to those old standards, Watford could have a natural goal scorer on their hands. Paul Onachu was a little bit of a bizarre signing from Southampton last January, as he's already been linked with a move back to Genk. The 29-year-old is currently priced up at 33 to 1 to win the Golden Boot, although it looks more than likely that he'll be off this summer. Middlesbrough's Marcus Forss is priced up at 33 to 1, a forward who went somewhat under the radar last season for Middlesbrough because the likes of Archer and Akpom grabbed plenty of the plaudits. Forss went about his business in quite an unassuming way. He scored 10 goals and grabbed 5 assists and did a lot of the facilitating for those 2 other Middlesbrough stars. But he does have a great strike rate at this level, and there's no reason why Carrick can't get him up to those sorts of levels. There's still somewhat of an unknown quantity about Luis SEMEDO, who's coming over from Benfica to Sunderland this summer, but plenty of excitement around the striker for sure. Norwich's Josh Sargent started last season really well, but as the year went on, his goal scoring touch somewhat fizzled out. He did end the campaign with 13 goals and 2 assists. He's currently being priced up at 33 to 1 to win the Championship Golden Boot next season. Or how about Bristol City's Tommy Conway? He had his most prolific season to date last year, where he scored 12 goals across all competitions, and the youngster's only tip to go on and get better this time around. The 20-year-old has a sharp eye for goal in and around the box and is currently priced up at 28 to 1. Leeds United's Luis Sinisterra is coming in with odds of 28 to 1. I'd love to see him ripping it up in the Championship next season. Now, this one's really dependent on 2 factors, the first of which which is him staying at Leeds. There has been quite a bit of interest in him so far. And the second is him staying fit over a full season. He's not managed to do that all too often throughout his career, as he has been plagued by several injuries. If those two things do fall into play, Sinisterra could be one of the best players in the league next year. His Leeds United teammate Joe GELHART's also priced up at 28 to 1 to be the Championship Golden Boot winner. Now, we did see him out on loan in the Championship last season. The second half of the season he spent with Sunderland. Probably didn't get to see the best of him in the end, because I think the original plan was for him to play off Ross Stewart, and obviously Stewart ended up getting injured, but as a secondary sort of striker, I can see him chipping in with a fair few goals for Leeds. We did see Nathan BROADHEAD in the Championship in the first half of last season before he completed the move over to Ipswich Town on a permanent basis. In the second half of last season in League One, he scored 8 goals and provided 5 assists. I'm sure he'll be well within the goals this season for Ipswich. With odds of 25 to 1, it's Millwall's new recruit Kevin Nisbet. I think a potential partnership of him and Zian Fleming playing off him has the potential to produce quite a few goals, to be fair. The main goal scoring burden at Millwall last season fell upon Tom Bradshaw's shoulders, but the odds are currently favouring Nisbet to outscore him this season. I have to admit, I am a fan of the Jerry Yates signing for Swansea this season. He scored 14 goals last year for a struggling Blackpool side who didn't have that much creativity or quality around him, and thrown into a Michael Duff system at Swansea this season with better players around him, I think that could lead to quite a prolific season for Yates. George Hirst is a really interesting one. He has made his move over to Ipswich Town on a permanent basis and did score some important goals for them while on loan last season. The sticking point with Hirst is, in his previous 2 spells in the Championship, he's yet to score a goal. He's had spells previously with Rotherham and Blackburn where he's failed to establish himself at this level, but a few years older now and in a side who's expected to create more chances. We'll wait and see on that one. With odds of 20 to 1 right now, it's Ross Stewart. Now, he's a really hard one to make a decisive call on. One, because we don't know who he's going to be playing for next season, whether he will be sticking it out at Sunderland where he's got 1 year left in his contract, or he will go elsewhere. There's been plenty of transfer speculation surrounding the Scottish striker so far this summer. The other factor is how he's going to be coming off the back of this big injury layoff. He only featured in 13 Championship matches last season, but in that time still managed to score 10 league goals. He was averaging a goal every 104 minutes, which is ridiculous in terms of a goal output, but there are a lot of unknowns with Stewart right now. Really looking forward to seeing Ellis Sims in a Coventry shirt next season. They have spent quite a bit of money to get the Everton forward on a permanent basis. We saw him in the Championship in the first half of last season on loan at Sunderland. In that time he managed to score 7 goals and was averaging a goal every 162 minutes in the Championship. We know how good Mark Robins is, especially in terms of getting an end product out of his forwards. We saw what he did for Victor Gyökeres's career. We'll wait and see if he can do the same for Sims. Into the top 10 we go. We've got Ipswich's Conor Chaplin coming in with odds of 20 to 1 to be the Championship Golden Boot winner. No real surprise that the bookies have placed him this high up in the list, given how prolific he was for Ipswich in League One last season, where he scored 26 goals and also provided 5 assists in that time as well. Small, diminutive player with an eye for goal, and he has previously hit double figures at this level for Barnsley in the past as well. GEORGINIO RUTTER's coming in with odds of 16 to 1. Now, Leeds spent a lot of money on him in January, a club record fee in the end, of a fee rising up to 36 million. But last season in the Premier League, we barely got to see him play. He only made 1 start, then 10 appearances off the bench, a total of 266 minutes, which is barely anything. But a season in the Championship could be the time for the striker to absolutely explode. Now, I'd be interested to hear from some Leeds fans. Where do you realistically see him playing next season? Do you think he's going to be someone leading the line, or could you see him more realistically in one of those wide positions? Obviously, does have a killer eye for a pass and can definitely go past someone. Along with that goal scoring touch, I think will add quite a bit of creativity next season as well. Patrick Bamford, a little bit of a controversial one in the Leeds fan base, but he is 14 to 1 to be the Championship Golden Boot winner this season. There's been quite a bit of talk about Bamford throughout the summer. Earlier on, it seemed more than likely that he would move on, but as of recording, is still a Leeds player and set to lead the line for Leeds in this upcoming season under Daniel Farke. Now, Bamford, I could see having a skill set that a manager like Farke would like, and Bamford has scored goals at this level previously in Leeds' promotion season under Bielsa. He did hit 16 goals, but it remains to be seen whether his long-term future will be at Ellen Road or elsewhere. Che Adams is a player who has scored goals for fun at this level previously. The reason why Southampton bought him for from Birmingham in the first place is because he was coming off the back of a prolific 22-goal season in the Championship. Now there is quite a bit of speculation surrounding Adams at the moment. He does have his admirers in the Premier League, and so we'll have to wait and see whether or not he's a Southampton player come the end of the transfer window, but he's currently 14 to 1 to be the Golden Boot winner. And his Southampton teammate Adam Armstrong has slightly shorter odds at 12 to 1. Now, he just scored 4 league goals in the 2 seasons he spent with the Saints in the Premier League, but the reason they bought him was because he was prolific at Championship level. His final season with Blackburn, he scored 28 goals. Definitely the sort of forward that I could see a manager like Russell Martin doing something with as well. I think that relationship could be really good. He's at 12 to 1 right now. Into the top 5 we go, and in 5th place it's Swansea's Joel Piroe coming in with odds of 10 to 1 to be the Championship Golden Boot winner. Now it remains to be seen whether Piroe will be a Swansea player come the end of the window. There's plenty of talk at the moment about him being linked to a top Championship club or even getting a move to the Premier League this summer. But one thing's for sure, and that's that Piroe knows how to find the back of the net in the Championship. In his previous 2 seasons with Swansea, he's got a combined 41 goals, which is an amazing return. Only 1 year left in his deal at Swansea though, and so the interest is expected. In 4th place we have last season's Golden Boot winner Chuba Akpom, also coming in with odds of 10 to 1 to be the Golden Boot winner next season. Now, Michael Carrick perfected the perfect role for Akpom in that Borough setup last season, playing off Cameron Archer in that free role. He was absolutely fantastic, scored a total of 28 goals, and I wouldn't put it past him being just as prolific this season, with Carrick having a full pre-season to work with Akpom and a full proper Championship year as well. He's already got 1 Golden Boot in the bag, what to say he can't get another. Coming in 3rd place and with odds of 9 to 1, it's Leicester City's Patson Daka. Now this one very much depends on what role he's going to play under Maresca in this upcoming season. Last time around in the Premier League, more often than not, he was used as an impact sub. 17 of his appearances last season in the Premier League did come from the bench. In that time, he scored 4 goals and provided 4 assists. I still think we can expect a little bit more movement from Leicester in the market and to bring in another forward of their own, which will affect Daka. In 2nd place, it's his Leicester City teammate, Kelechi Iheanacho, also with odds of 9 to 1 to be the Championship Golden Boot winner. Now, there is quite a bit of speculation surrounding Iheanacho at this point in time. Everton, the latest club I've seen linked to the 26-year-old. But a lot of factors to consider with him and whether or not he'll still be a Leicester player come the end of the transfer window. He certainly has an excellent strike rate for the Foxes, having scored 55 goals across 206 appearances. That's a strike rate of a goal every 4 or so matches, which for a guy who's not an out-and-out striker, I think is a really good return. But coming in as the outright favourite right now, of course, it's Jamie Vardy. With odds of 6 to 1, that is who the bookies are currently backing to be the Golden Boot winner in this upcoming season. Now I get why the bookies have placed Vardy with those sorts of odds. He is arguably the biggest name in the Championship in this upcoming season. He's playing for arguably the best side, certainly the side that a lot of people are tipping to win the league and that will score a lot of goals this season. But it is worth remembering that Vardy is now 36, and what sort of role he's going to play for this Leicester side next season. I'd be amazed if he was the guy that was leading the line for them week in, week out at 36 years old. You know, last season he did take a little bit more of a step back. He started 19 matches and was used as an impact sub on 18 occasions, so his game time really split between starting and coming off the bench. I definitely think he'll put up solid numbers in the Championship this season, but I think his game time will be managed where someone else from that Leicester squad will be their main source of goals. There we have it though, guys. Those are the players who the bookies are currently tipping to win the Championship Golden Boot in this upcoming season. Are there any glaring omissions that the bookies have made? Certainly a few players I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm thinking, can't believe they're not in the top 30. But apart from that, guys, that will now wrap it up for today's video. If you did go to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and do stick around and subscribe for some regular Championship content. And I'll see you all in the next one.